right, y'all, what's happening? We're back. It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington.
And I'm the swaggy blerd, Winston A. Marshall.
Who is barely the fuck awake, but it is what it is.
You're just gonna.
Yep. I was waiting till I started recording with this.
So disrespectful.
We are here for the season 3, episode 7 review of Doom Patrol on HBO MAX. If you ain't seen it yet, you already know the drill. Come back, will be spoilers. Let me tell you something, y'all. So he's kind of busy at times. I'm busy as well. I get that, right? We understand. We do shit, right? A lot. So I asked him yesterday, yo, you want to record this? It's yesterday's being Saturday. He was like, yo, I'm busy. I can do it tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I was like, bet, cool. I have been up since 8:15 this morning. I did some cleaning around my apartment. I got up. I got to do 2 self-tapes. I was going to ask him to do one after this that has only 2 lines he needs to read. Like all these things, right? So I'm like, all right, I text him at like 9:45, like, yo, when you wake up, I'm in the spot to do this. Like, I'm waiting, right? So then like 10 o'clock hit. I was like, nigga. So then he didn't show up. So then I was like, okay, let me call his phone. So then I got called for it. I was like, oh, bitch, you gonna send me the voicemail? So then I called back again. Oh, bitch, you gonna send me the voicemail twice? Okay, that's what we all. I'll kill you in these streets. I swear for God. But now he's here. So how you doing? Winston? Good to see you.
So are you done? Are you done?
I'm done now.
Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
Look, man.
It made better for me getting off my soul while we were recording than saying things beforehand. So my soul feels better doing it.
That's fine. Whatever makes you feel better. I had to pull a double yesterday, and then I had a friend's housewarming / birthday party, and it was just a very, very long day, and I slept through 3 alarms. Like when I tell you I woke up to shit just blaring. Like my alarm for some reason was Drake and Gucci Mane both, and it was just on a loop. I don't usually do this. Yes, I'm drunk or I'm high, but I'm both right now trying to need you in my life. Like over and 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 over.
You can't have a normal. Most people have that for their fucking alarm. Anyways, let's get into it, man. So we're gonna, we don't go bit by bit. So Laura DeMille, we go back to 1949 in the Bureau. There's a dude getting an interview to be in the Bureau,
which just as a heads up for those that weren't aware,
I was about to get into who it is.
No, not that. I was going to say that this is a jump forward from the episode before, because before we were in 1917. So now being in 19,
yes, we're 49, and we got current at the same time. So we're still doing the present and past, right?
But it's forward about 30 years.
About 30 years. So in 49, Laura is interviewing a dude named Wally Sage. Dude, like, yo, he's a meta, right? He like, yo, I want to come in. I want to do this. I saw about the job in accounting. Like, my man came in with glass there. They like, yo, I'm trying to get this job crunching numbers. My peoples was in the Bureau. I want to be in the Bureau. And so she's like, what is your ability? So she hands him pages and he can bring the objects on the page to life. I don't know if you know who he is.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't Wally Sage actually Flex Mentallo?
He's the dude who created Flex Mentallo.
Okay, got it.
Which means I tweeted this. Yo, if Flex Mentallo comes back for the Eternal Flagellation, that's gonna be the best shit ever. So remember season 2 is Flex or 1?
If I'm not mistaken, he was in both.
Yeah, he's in
like
both.
He had a moment in both, but last right. But if I remember, the last time we saw him was on Danny, and he had everybody busting a nut because he hit the wrong muscle. That was season 1.
No, that was season 1. Season 2 is when the sex men come out with the sex ghosts.
He was helping with the ghosts. Okay,
and then he gave Rita the greatest orgasm she ever had. He gave Rita the greatest orgasm she's ever fucking had. But Laura classifies him as a weapon. Now, this is the thing you find out later on. The Bureau been like, hey, look, chick, okay, you doing your part, blah, blah, blah. You've been recruiting people. But you got a group of people in the basement that you keep letting just sit by. And he says it. We're in a meta-human arms race. Yeah. And she's like, yo, she's like, they pacifists. They don't mean shit. And dude was like, so, you might want to keep this job. And when he said one particular line, if you watch Doom Patrol all the way through, it was something that struck when he said that big eye in the sky is watching you. Remember the D Creator?
Yep.
Because I was like, is this the D Creator? I was
That
like,
was
oh,
my thought too. As I immediately was like, and that's what I appreciate so much about this show is that I feel like more so than other shows, they are not afraid to call back to some shit that happened, a couple years ago and make you think about it. Because it's like the big eye in the sky. I was literally like, why does that
season
sound
one,
so
yeah.
fucking familiar? And they're tapping back to everything, man.
I mean, but that's what works about it. So again, while you see that, you see the members of the Sisterhood of Dada in the basement again at 49. They're like, "Yo, we should finally do the Eternal Flagellation." But here was the best part about that: who are we? The Sisterhood of Dada. What are we? Because this is what Kimiko, I think her
Yeah.
name is. I can't, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to make sure I got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Then she
I
asked that one
believe so,
question:
yes.
why are we? And again, that ties back into 2 episodes ago when Cyclone meets Vic and he asks him, "Why are you?" But here's
Yeah.
something that I think you and I both noticed in this episode that really got me. When Cyclone starts talking about everything that's happened while they've been a part of the Bureau, and then goes right back to, it's like, even in our own backyard, people that look like me, and he has to fight from breaking down.
Yep. Yep. I mean, and that was kind of what we were talking about the previous episode. The fact that you had a black woman being in there, like being like, "Ugh, look at him!" Like, you know what I'm saying? It was
God,
just,
you dirt ass darkies. What, ma'am? Your skin is chocolate. The fuck are you doing? Like, here's a
what is
question for
wrong with
you.
you? What is
Here's a
wrong
question. I'm
with
gonna,
you?
you gonna ask
Yeah,
what's wrong with me for real. Here's a question now. Listen,
come on, I'm here.
premises, I understand this is a DC comic book show, but at this rate, with what this storyline, stop looking at me like that. With this storyline, if one of the members of the Bureau would be like, "You nigger," I'd be like, that checks off. Like,
It would
like,
check. It would check. It would check out. I think for right now they're calling what Meta's scum, and that's just a step up. Like that they're over here like taking care of everybody else, and then see Cyclone and be like, "And you are scum."
how dare
Like
you be one of them
hit him.
goddamn darkies with
He
wheels
like
on your
he
back?
hit him with a scum and a hard R, and you're just like, oh, like,
You're scum. The hard M is like the hard R. But in
yeah, yeah,
present,
yeah.
also, Larry throws up this larva, which can we talk about this for a second, bro?
I think the funniest part is he's about to be like, nah, absolutely not, right? And then he puts it in a bag and he walks it outside and he leaves it out in the middle of the woods, or it looks like maybe he was even like on a beach. I can't remember,
That was the
but
woods.
it was the woods, right? Okay, so he leaves it out there in the woods, and then all of a sudden you see him go, ah, damn, I already been an absentee father. I can't do this again. So he goes back to take care of the larva, bro.
First of all, here's a question. This motherfucker gave larva some food, a thermos, and a scarf. The larva ain't got no hands. It's a larva. That shit's just there. But one of the best parts before that, again, this Larry is sitting there throwing up, right? He threw up the larva. Madame Rouge comes and she's like, "What the fuck is?" He was like, it started out as a tumor, but then she was like, "Yo, have you been any place with any weird atmospheres?" He was like, "My whole life is a weird atmosphere." He was like, was it the afterlife, the negative nebula?" The man said, "Yo, I went to Costco recently, and that was the realest shit ever, bro. Because like, if you go to Costco, which I've been with you several times, and I like saying, in the midst of going to Costco, I've learned a few things. We're both alcoholics in our soul, but we try not to live it on the outside. But that's for another story for another day. We try not to live it on the outside of the sleeves. But what I'm saying is, you realize that is an atmosphere into itself. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
1,000%. And you haven't even gone with me in normal times. It's only been in the pandemic, bro. Going in normal times when people could be showing up with their kids and they're
My
like,
God.
I can't afford to feed my baby. So I'm going to have all 7 of them run around in the
Nope.
fucking Costco and eat
Nope.
all the samples. Dude, it is the most obnoxious thing in the entire world.
First of all, let's just keep it a buck here. And for those everybody watching us, it's not just people with their babies, nigga. You ain't never went around and was like, "Yo, today's sample day."
No. Every day was sample day, but I'm saying that like it is more. I think the most obnoxious thing,
Because
and
you
I
can't get to the
get it.
sample
I
because the
get it.
kids in.
And I get it because we all just doing what we need to survive and shit. But nothing is more frustrating when you're sitting here, you're waiting for like a Tostito, and you're like, "This gonna be delicious. Let me go ahead and cop this and decide if I'm gonna buy this mug. I'm probably not, but it's a free tostada and all that shit." And you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and then all of a sudden you go to grab it, and some little kid goes, "Ha ha!" and just grabs 8 of them bitches and runs. And you're like, what the fuck? Whose child is this before I snatch him up by their neck and shit? Like, and all of a sudden you look back and he runs back to his brothers and sisters and they all come back with their looking like fucking orphans, holding all the shit together and like shoving it up to mom. And mom's like, good job, kiddies. Now eat it. That's your lunch today. And I'm like, bitch, if you don't take somebody over and get a $1 motherfucking hot dog at the food court, I swear for God.
Can I ask you a question? From
who hurt me?
Who hurt me? Who hurt you? Like, because the level of description,
all these fucking orphan children. I swear to God, and I know that the writers of Doom Patrol, like, because you were your homegirl is one of the writers,
yeah,
but now Shoshana, but now everybody's watching. I'm sure they were like, well, I wasn't ready to go on that journey that this nigga just went through right now.
I don't think nobody was right. Yo, we're going to put a Costco line in the episode. Yo, you ever been to Costco? And
you have to understand, writing team, actions have consequences. You bring up Costco in an episode, and unfortunately, just bad memories come flailing out of me pre-pandemic.
Here's the problem. You have bad memories for a lot of shit in this show. You just went through, because you didn't went through the theater kid shit. You was like, I remember this shit. That Costco.
Why are you doing this to me?
Somebody needs to hug this man.
Let me live.
Again, Madame Rouge tells him to burn the lava. That's when he takes to the forest. But here's the part: the Eternal Flagellation is happening, and all of them getting their signs and flyers. Like, yo,
so that they need to join the thing. They need to join.
Jane cussing out Cliff was like, "Yo, you sold my fucking records, bro." And she was like, "All right." He was like, "But I sold your share workout tapes." And when she turned into Flint, and Flint was like, "Oh," and took him to his daughter's house. Because I don't think he was supposed to be there just yet. And he was like, hey, extended grandpa visit. And like Clara's wife is basically like, yo, get him the fuck away from this baby. Like, because she don't trust the Parkinson's thing.
No,
like,
right. No, 1,000%. And the funny thing is, it almost didn't work out. So they were like, he was like, come on, no, it's all good. Go on date night. Like, I can handle it. And then they're like, nah, I don't know about
because his hand started shaking again.
But they were like, all right, we're gonna get ice cream for 30 minutes. Can you hold the fort for 30 minutes? Like, yeah, 30 minutes. I ain't no thing. Like, I got it, whatever. They come back. The house is nearly burning down. They're like, well, at least you didn't burn the house down, but the shit was close.
The worst thing Clara did was get that man a credit card. He was looking. He was like, I am not thinking about Ginger.
Oh God. And like, dude, I thought for a minute, because I was so concerned. And then they got back and he hadn't used it. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, he actually made it through. Of course he didn't. Go to give it like another, 20 minutes. And all of a sudden, homie was outside with Ginger. And she was like, oh, man, that's so crazy. So you want to see me get naked and see my hoo-ha?
Like, you only paid for 15 minutes. Like, look, here's the thing. I still stand by this. If we can have sex ghosts, Cliff needs to have robot masturbation. He needs to be. Look,
it's a hard pass. That's
what it's going to be, a hard pass. Like, because you think about it, like the robot hand, I'm going to show myself.
I hate you. Yeah, see yourself out, bro. That was, you are something else.
Vic decides he want to go ahead and get the skin. But then he calls Ronnie. He's like, yo, first of all, Ronnie was like, Ronnie out here in the woods. He said in Morse code, like, she's like, how the fuck you find me? He like, hey, this little supercomputer. So he like, yo, I'm about to do it. I'm about to take out my tech. And she like, bro, what is you doing? Like, that's you. You're a hero. So again, I think that goes back to why are you with Cyborg? Why are you again, he keeps saying, I'm a hero because I have to be a hero. And they're like, no, nigga. You
ain't got to do shit. I appreciate the fact that, like, he obviously still has very strong feelings for Ronnie. Despite everything that's happening, she first is like, oh shit, why are you, how did you find me? He's like, come on, man. Like, what do you mean? How did I find Grid, fool? Like, what, goddamn well, I can tap into any fucking goddamn, like,
why you gotta say it so hard? Like, you might as well have said,
that's
you might have been on the phone, might as well be on the phone like, hey bitch, listen. You think I did?
But that's what's so funny about it is it almost felt like, obviously that's not his child, but it almost felt like a child be like, Mom, Dad, how did you get here? Nigga, we have been following you we chipped your ass when you were a child. We know exactly what your ass is.
First of all, I need to establish what type of parent you gonna be because I got kids and they never say, "Yo, I chipped you." What the fuck is your child, a
Well,
puppy?
technically, we have all chipped our children. If they have a cell phone, they have
Nah,
an
that ain't what you do. You're
iPod.
not gonna try to swerve this into a Facebook discourse conversation. You technically got a chip already when you.
No, no.
First of all, are you shushing me
Hush, hush,
virtually?
hush, 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 child, hush.
So Vic goes to the doctor, right? And the doctor used to work with his mother. And so, she sees everything and she's like, "Oh, let's see what you got." And that man pulled out the can and she was like, "Oh, this is beautiful." It's like, "What did kick out? 10,000 volts?" He was like, 25. I was like, "Oh, Jesus." So she was basically telling him if he wanted it done, he could have it done overnight.
Yeah.
Like, because his technology is nanotech, it's just a matter of code, just decode. She's like, the prosthetics are going to stay, but the skin can go over it. Now, here's a question I'm wondering. Prosthetics are one thing, like his arms, hands, all that, right?
Right.
What about this nigga's face? Because, like, the big ass metal plate, like, how do you put synthetic skin where it's like you look like the Toxic Avenger now with a face?
Futuristic tech, bro. I mean, if
Don't
we're
try to
talking
fake it.
about
I
our,
like how you tried to fake the yawn. You tried to talk through the yawn like we didn't see that. You was like,
will you
nope,
just let me
nope,
live? Why
nope.
are you
So
so
disrespectful,
disrespectful?
respectful. Hey,
Jesus,
nope.
dude. The next time the flatulation starts, I hope you get hit by one of them birds, and they little bird butterflies, nigga. Because you were so disrespectful.
Let's get to it. So finally, like, we'll go to Jane in a moment. First of all, let's just go there real quick. Jane is talking to Kay, right? Kay in the
Yeah,
room, they just stole the bike. And Kay out here getting pissed off because Jane's trying to soften the blow because to Jane, Kay's still a kid.
right.
But Kay's like, "Yo, I'm not a kid," which is kind of, I think we were talking about this before. Like, she's growing up,
Yeah,
but is she, see, the weird part, like we said, is even though, yes, we know in the comics, she still keeps the personalities and everything of the sort. But
right.
what is that? Because I think that's what the other personalities are worrying about now. Because you see that how Dr. Harrison, that all of them are
Well, they
trying to
straight up
like,
said it. They straight up said it. And that was the thing I was talking about before you had asked the question, and I like that. Again, when people start to get healthy, there are a lot of people whose personalities go away. So if you actually remember, as just as an example in media, if you remember in Fight Club, obviously, spoiler alert, that once he kind of gets his shit figured out, um, you see Brad Pitt disappear. You see Tyler Durden disappear, and then it's just Ed Norton going forward because he had finally kind of like sorted stuff out. It doesn't happen universally, but it is something that can happen. So literally, you see Jane being like, "Y'all must be confused. Y'all must whatever," and then they were like, "Who's looking out for us?" And that's when you realize, holy crap! They like I had kind of mentioned before, they're in survival mode because they are very concerned if Kay figures her shit out, they don't exist anymore.
well, also not even just that. Remember, the candle maker came to the underground and started murdering people. Like remember
Well,
that already has them on
and
high alert.
not just that, but the who they thought was Miranda and ended up being, obviously not.
Right. So
They
you got
hit
the Miranda
twice.
situation, you got Candlemaker. The underground isn't a safe haven per se as
Mhm,
it was before.
mhm.
And so they're already in that. And then basically James like, "Yo, I figured out what happened to your bike. Somebody just borrowed it." Kay was like, "That's bullshit." Like, and just slammed the door on her. Because
Yeah,
again, now Janie says now she's going through depression, which is weird because it's almost like she reverts back to being in her self K that she was when we
yeah,
first get introduced, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
No, exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. It's just interesting to me watching all this happen because obviously the underground happening is happening at a pace that we can understand it, but you got to remember this is happening in like split seconds because someone is still up top of controlling Jane the whole time.
which is always crazy to me. Like we get a whole full played out scene in the underground, right? With Jane herself, while Jane is the primary personality at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like while
Mm-hmm.
Jane is up top at the moment, it's always like you said, it's a split second thing, but then you're like, "Oh yeah, she's just like Living a life like it's golden. Living a life like it's golden. I don't know why that Jill Scott song popped in my goddamn head.
I don't know why it did either. You really are something else.
Hey man, listen, it's going to early day, and it's been a long. My arm, I'm finally getting back to normal. Oh, I didn't tell you, but I mean, yeah, I know this is a Doom Patrol review. When they got my booster shot on Friday. And,
Oh yeah. Oh, and did they hit you? Oh, the baby get a little down from the booster.
First of all, you can kiss my ass. So on Friday after I got it, I got it at 2:00. At about 5, all of a sudden my body got tired. I was like, why am I just tired and just drained? I was like, am I normally drained like normal, or am I? But then like yesterday, it hit me, and all of a sudden my arm was like, hey, I was like, oh, what? But anyway,
what the? Oh shit! Oh, duh! I don't know why I didn't just.
Yeah, you just realized.
Just turn around. I could literally just do this.
What the? Oh shit!
I think my favorite part about that meme is the fact that my nigga is clearly dying from the sauce and he's still licking his fingers.
Yo, haven't we all done this shit too? You be like, you're like, I can't let this flavor go nowhere.
Bro, I got clowned last night because the birthday party housewarming I was at, they had made mozzarella sticks, and I went to grab when they had been out the oven maybe a minute, and I bit into it. I was like, oh, that shit hot. And all the girls are like, why do dudes always do that? I was like, I don't know. Like you just keep doing it over and over again, even though you know you're gonna burn your mouth the second time.
Back to 1949 in the Bureau of Normandy. The Sisterhood decides to, I guess, start their version of the Eternal Flagellation, and this is after Rita and Malcolm come up with some masks they've made of one another, and Holly was like, you got her face, she's got yours, and y'all in love. I guess that's what that is. And it's like, this is art, whatever. And Rita still started doing soft shoe. I was like, is that soft shoe? You just fucking, this is a new thing on Broadway. Okay. But it starts to happen when the flagellation starts to happen itself. This cloud of fog starts developing things. We're at that moment where you're having a split simultaneous thing where you got the Doom Patrol dancing, and you got Cliff like, is this Dada? We doing Dada? And he's like, we look fucking cool. And you had Cyborg just laughing, and you got Larry like, fuck. But then you see the moment where basically Laura is becoming Madame Rouge almost, and how she becomes the enemy to the Sisterhood of Dada.
You were already seeing it as this was unfolding, because like they were having conversations with her being like, this is your sisterhood too. Like, what are you? And she was just like, nah, like, you know what? Not anymore. Like, I'm not. And then because she let the Bureau get in her head about being like, if she ever wants to move up and to guarantee her own safety, that she has to turn over her crew. And so that's when we get, again, while this is happening both in the past and the present, the dances are syncing up. We then eventually get to the Bureau comes in, including the dude Wally in a soldier outfit with their weapons to come and take them hostage. Yeah. What's up?
Remember the scene earlier in the episode where Rita and Malcolm are like in the hallway, and then the soldiers come marching through, the Bureau of Normandy soldiers? Why is it the Bureau of Normandy really look a lot like Nazis? You ever notice that?
Well, because they are, if you think about it.
Yeah,
you don't like anything that is outside of normal. And the Nazis, their whole thing was, if you weren't blue-eyed and blonde, you weren't shit.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have melanin, and then the Lord didn't love you. And why did you make them all? Why'd you make the Nazis from Alabama?
Well, because that's a whole other conversation if you want to get into it. But where are current Nazis right
now? Orange County, California.
Anyways, so
Orange County, California. If you really want to go there, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so you get this matchup right now where you're literally seeing what's happening in the past and what's happening in the present, like syncing up. And like you said, they're like, is this Dada? Are we doing Dada? And so while this is happening, all of a sudden you're seeing, again, she turns over the crew and they're all like, why are you doing this? Like, you were one of us, like, whatever. It's like, nah, like, I'm doing this. Like, she tried to be like, I'm doing this for you. And no, she wasn't. She wouldn't do that for nobody but her damn self. And of course, again, you see Wally have to be the one to try and like because he's part of, he didn't want to do this, but he's a soldier now, and he goes to hit him with the shock stick, and it just so happens that God, I always forget his name.
Malcolm,
that's what it is. Malcolm, who had gone invisible because he got scared as soon as they showed up, pops in front of Rita and ends up getting the bejesus shocked out of him to the point where his bird dies. Which, remember, the bird is his heart. So once that bird goes out, that's it.
that canary was laid. This motherfucker like the canary, like and again, but it really touched because it broke Rita, because there was a thing I was reading different articles and stuff, and the question was, it's like Rita has a weird level of control of her abilities. We've even talked about this in the past. Like, it's just stretch and stretch. And then this moment where her emotion comes, she blobs out and disappears and then appears back in the present, right? Now she's a part of the sisterhood because of the emotion and everything. But at the same time, you have Laura remembering completely. And the best part of that whole line, shouts out to Ezra Clayton Daniels, who wrote the episode, who was a fan of ours, by the way, because I've got the message. The fan was like, have they talked about it? The best part that they wrote was like, where Jane goes, is this a flashback? Like, yo, this show is so like,
it's meta than a motherfucker, but that's why we love it, bro.
It's like, is this a flashback? And then she's like, oh shit. But then you have all of a sudden everybody gets teleported, and you see the bird cage with a giant egg in it. And you have Rita telling Laura she needs to atone. She needs to, apologize. Basically, you killed Malcolm, bitch. You killed the canary. Tweety died because of you, ho. Like, I don't think she would say all that. But
it was implied. It was implied. You could hear it. You know how like have you ever done that before where white people will say stuff and then you were translating in your head in black speak and you just like,
let me tell you something. Hey, bro.
They'd be like haddly doodly, and you just be like, what's up, my nigga? Like that's the, you know what I'm saying?
Listen,
like you just,
what are the two industries we both work in? The nerd world and acting. Okay. There is all the time. Guys, so I need you guys to kind of urban it up a little bit. So me be a nigga. Right. So it's like the translation happens in my head. And so Laura is being told to atone, and she's like, I atoned that day. Was like, she basically atoned for letting them be pacifists and allowing that to just subside. And I guess Laura was supposed to open the cage, but Rita opens it. First of all, the shit hatches, and it's the most terrifying. It's Malcolm's face with wings. What the fuck?
They kind of look like moth wings because
it's like weird. Moth wings, yeah.
So that's why I was a little confused, because they were calling it Bird Patrol, but I guess maybe it was more reference to Malcolm's bird heart than this moment, I would think, because they weren't really birds.
Then that, and also Laura finally turns into a bird when he comes out the cage. You notice Laura turns into a bird and flies the fuck away.
Flies off, yes. And then they even asked, they were like, so what does this mean? Like, that doesn't look great. And they're like, I mean, if you're a good person, it ain't gonna bother you. So of course, all of them get hit by these like Malcolm moths. And just they all disappear.
Which is crazy because it's like, so they were like, this is the Eternal Flagellation. She's like, yo, this is the prologue. Because again, Kimiko, if I'm messing her name up, I fucking apologize because I'm a terrible person. Let me click that there.
I got you. Hold on.
Yeah, you can go ahead and just see the quiz because it's Kimiko, right?
Okay. I think so.
So you're not helping at all.
No. Hold on. Yeah.
Kimio. I was close. Kimio. So Kimio, I was wondering.
No, never mind. That's not right.
That's not even right. See, we are terrible around here. Just go.
Hold on.
Oh, Jesus. This is going to be the worst part. I know everybody watching the show like, how do y'all not get the name right? And I'm like, I didn't take notes on paper this time.
I didn't either. It's all good. Well, we know that she's the quiz.
Yes,
we do know that.
We got that part. That is pretty much established.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out in a hot second. But I was trying to figure out, is it because the reason she wears the mask, like a face, like an oxygen mask, to prevent everybody from speaking Japanese?
Oh, no. Kimiko, not even close. Sachiko.
Okay, well, I was way...
you were way off.
I was this way.
Every time we said Kimiko, they were like, who the fuck they talk about?
So I was this way, and so the answer was that way. And so what that means is people gonna be in the comments like, boy, who the fuck are you talking about? And they don't realize until like 30 minutes in, oh, they finally got it right. But y'all knew who the fuck we was
Oh,
talking
you
about.
mean Sachiko? Okay, dog.
Okay.
You know what's funny? I went the most roundabout way. I don't know why I didn't just go to IMDb and just check what they were listing
Yeah, I
in
don't know
the.
why.
You
That's
know
what I
what I
just
mean?
automatically did. Yeah.
No, I just because I went instead to just go look up the character just in like Wikipedia and shit. But yeah, so
Why do you make things so difficult?
you know,
It's life, right?
comes with the territory, bro. You
So
know.
again, is the reason why she wears the mask so she doesn't make everybody talk Japanese and do what she did because again of her abilities, because it prevents that.
I honestly don't know. That's something myself I was trying to like put together and kind of figure out. But that would make sense. Though, if I remember correctly, she wasn't wearing one
She doesn't
before
wear
all
it.
this.
Right. She doesn't
Mm-mm.
wear it. See, the thing is, she doesn't wear it in around the sisterhood. I guess
Yeah,
because it's meant they can understand her and things like that. But when the bureau comes down, she has it on the first time.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then when we're transported in the present, she has it on then. You know what I'm saying? So like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe I missed something. I rewatched it again just because I was like, oh, I got time since he ain't awoke, so I can rewatch it, and like since Winston ain't up yet because he needs to be up in
Oh,
certain.
it turns out that apparently she's afraid of dirt. So
Also, she's Howie Mandel.
is he afraid of dirt?
He's a germaphobe.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's why she wears her long gown and the gas mask is because she's afraid of dirt. It's to try and give her a little bit of distance from the nasties
I'll
in
tell
the
you
world.
something, dude. This world is just nasty and dirty in itself. But the little moth bird things, here's the best part. Like when everybody was like, this ain't that bad. So Cliff gets hit and Vic say, man, I don't know. I'm still high as fuck. And like it just wait, the fact one shits on Jane's face.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much how we end it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying?
it. And now
So
we're left and again, Laura or Madame Rouge has turned into a bird and flown off too. So she didn't even get hit with one of the Malcolm moth bird things. And so that's where we're stuck now, where all the Doom Patrol has disappeared. Rita it was in turn subjugating her former colleagues now to this because she is full Sisterhood of Dada at this point. And now we just got to wait and see what happens next episode as to where did they go. Like
well, if you haven't seen the preview, it's called
I did.
Unconscious
It's called.
Patrol.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're
So
in their heads to their personnel. Which battle I cannot wait to see Jane as puppets. That's go like I'm cool with seeing Brendan Fraser actually on screen. I'm always for more Brendan Fraser.
by the way, subconscious patrol, not unconscious patrol.
Subconscious. It's a conscious level. It's some shit. Listen, I've been frustrated at this black man all day. Okay, so now if I don't get certain names right, it is what it is. But y'all know we love the show. So I mean, we get all that we're going for. Like I said, this was the mid-season finale.
Yeah.
And as we see going forward, like I said, also it's Subconscious Patrol. The Brotherhood of Evil is back. So we get the braid and Monsieur Mala. I think that this is the exact moment she finally gets the name Madame Rouge
I
because
think so too.
Laura approaches them. And so overall, with this episode, what did you think? How did you feel?
I gotta give this one probably a 4.5. Man, like I really enjoyed what they were doing. The full turn of Madame Rouge and why they become enemies. Wasn't expecting any of that, and it was a great kind of connect together. And like, even though I was freaked out by the dancing when it was happening, like
Because you used to do that in theater.
no. I was freaked out just because I was like, "What the fuck who has this power? Like, what the fuck is going on right now?" So it was just weird. But then when you realize what was happening, and it was like a simultaneous, like living through a flashback, that was so cool. I think that was expertly done, man. And you actually got to give all the actors that are a part of the Doom Patrol a lot of credit because this isn't the first time that they've had to do some pretty succinct choreography. Like they've done this multiple times throughout the show, where whether it's them dancing themselves or whatever has been going on, including even having a simultaneous orgasm, like they've done so well with being completely in sync with each other. So I thought that this was just really, really well done.
I agree with you on the credit to the actors, but I think it's something we've said. It goes back to something we've said like for every review and every time we talk about the show to just people in general. You can tell every actor on the set of this show
Loves
is
doing the show, dude.
loves doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a job. They're working, they're doing their craft, what they want to do, but they're having so much fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the level of fun. For me, this is like a 4.9. I just want to know why specifically is it the lower half of his face? Like, you know, like I just I need to know why is it just his nose and goatee? Like out of all the things, like the bird type thing in the cage, I get it. The bird, the bird in his chest. It makes sense. The correlation is there, but just cut out the buffalo bill of his face and was like, you gonna see.
The buffalo bill of his face. Are you kidding me, sir?
It's gonna be like I'd fuck me. Would you fuck? I don't know why I went silent to the left. I don't know why.
Oh my
But
god.
I do agree with that. And again, the conversation back in 49 when they're again the who are we, what are we, why are we, and you having again Cyclone talking about how we've been here while they bombed the whole country. We're talking about the Pearl Harbor thing, talking about the Holocaust, all these different things, and then to say and right in our own backyard, my people have gone, and him breaking down. It goes back again. He co-wrote the episode Shoshana did where it was like talking about with Vic and him talking about you this black skin. And so again to Ezra, my brother, hats off for that. I don't know why I went British. Have
Yeah.
no clue.
Yeah, and you tried to come for me when I made Nazis sound like they're from the South. But look, man, I just got to say, if you can ever get a Costco reference in an episode and let me go on a rant about children snatching up all them samples pre-pandemic, you did a good job. I'm just gonna put that. It's a low bar. I know that seems like a very low bar, but like you gave me a moment where I literally. Have you ever watched a show and you pause for a second, not because you're watching it with nobody else, but because you just get lost in your thoughts about something that just got said?
Yeah.
That kind of happened when Costco came up. I was like, little niggas. And then
we appreciate all y'all for watching this. We want to thank y'all. Y'all know how to find us on the social medias, Lord Jesus. Wow. That just happened. Blurs in the Hood every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 on the East Coast. We are actually in the process of working on getting some of the writers to talk about the show, to do a couple interviews. Y'all already know how we do. So we're going to have them on there. We're definitely going to try to talk to Ezra. I got setting that up and everything. So we're going to do that. So if y'all been following us with this, y'all know how we do. We talk about these. We try to keep it a buck and not just be like, I really love this show, blah, blah, blah. We always like to be honest and forthright with everything. So with that being said, we will holler at y'all next week for episode 8. Shit's going to get wild, and I'm all for puppets. I'm all about puppets.
Yeah, man. Who doesn't love a good puppet, bro? That's one of the best episodes of a lot of different things is when they go into puppet land of some sort. So I'm here for it, bro. Let's go.
I'm here for it. We'll holler at y'all. Take care. We out. Bye.